Okay, hey everybody, we watched a movie.
Yep.
This was supposed to be a double feature.
Why?
It was not a double feature.
Why, Fox?
Fox delayed the release of
Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs.
Which, say Isle of Dogs really fast.
Isle of Dogs? I love dogs.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Either way, we didn't watch it today because it didn't come out today except in 27 theaters across the U.S. Guess what? We're not near any of those.
No.
So we didn't watch it. Instead, we only got to watch Romeo and Juliet 2, Sherlock Gnomes.
Is it just called Sherlock Gnomes?
Yeah, it's actually just called Sherlock Gnomes. But as I was saying Romeo and Juliet, I realized I was saying the wrong thing.
So you just rolled with it.
So I just rolled with it,
Which
and it worked.
is the same thing these movie writers did.
Yeah.
Whenever there was a mistake, they just rolled with it.
They're just like, oh, whatever, we'll just call it out and keep going. Because
Yep.
they do that a lot.
So we don't have time to fix anything.
Nope, no one wants to work on this. Not the writers, not the actors, not the animators. No one really cared. And it very clearly shows.
There's a couple of points where this movie has ambition to be something other than just like a really cheap film, like a really mediocre film. And then someone was like, you know what? I'm tired of working on this. And so they just sent it to print. Like there's a whole bunch of 2D segments in this movie. Where when they first started this, I'm like, oh, are we going to get a little treat? And then, like, they started, and I'm like, oh, not really.
This is neat, but they don't last very long, and they do nothing.
They definitely don't wow me.
No. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, at least a 2D animator got paid, so...
Yeah. Or
happy.
maybe 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, sure, it probably took a few people
Yeah,
to
I'm
do
sure
those.
it was not just one person who did those. Although, who knows, maybe. Because I think a lot of the 2D animation was puppet work.
I mean, very likely. Because, yeah. And it's like, what, 3 scenes, essentially?
I think 4. I think it happens 4 times.
Okay. Either way, we haven't really said if we liked or hated this film. Yeah.
Just, yeah.
I mean, it didn't make me angry, but it certainly wasn't good.
By the end of the year, I'm going to have trouble remembering that we saw this.
Uh-huh. It's like there's no offensive parts of this. I mean... Well, I mean, it's your general, like, run-of-the-mill bad sequels where they're just gonna, like, throw out, oh, these are, like...
Do you not remember Chinatown?
Okay, Chinatown was bad.
Like, it wasn't anything awful, but the entire time I'm just sitting there like, really? Are we doing this right now?
That's another segment that just made me feel like we were watching The Nut Job 2.
Yeah! Yeah!
This movie just felt like we were watching The Nut Job 2 again, which we watched last year and wasn't very good. I think this is better than that.
I mean, right now I can remember it better than that.
Oh, it was definitely better than that. But that's not a movie you want to compare yourself to.
Like,
or
if
get
you're
compared to.
Yeah, if you're gonna steal ideas from something, why steal from Nut Job 2?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that these people were necessarily stealing, but I'm guessing that, like, some focus group was brought together and was like, hey, these things are popular with kids, apparently.
Man, there was a lot of well-known voice actors in this movie that are just like, thank you for the paycheck.
Right. Well, because there was a lot of well-known voice actors in the first movie.
And they managed to get most, if not all of them, back again.
Okay, but a lot of them had very few lines.
Oh, yeah, like Maggie Smith was in this movie, right?
Right, but she plays like the
blue
boss lady.
patron,
Yeah.
or matron, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, she's
And
got
then
like
Michael
5
Caine
lines.
is the other guy.
They both had like 5 lines each in the whole movie.
Okay, at first I thought she wasn't going to come back at all because she came in the movie and she's like, oh, we're going to make
Romeo and Juliet.
the leaders, we've decided to go on retirement. Bye! And I thought, like, that was gonna be the last we saw of the movie.
They just exit the movie.
Because she then was like, come along, dear, something.
Exit stage right.
And then I, like, leaned over and whispered to Sean, I'm like, let's go get our paycheck.
But no, they return.
Yeah, they do come back for, like, a couple more lines in the movie.
Are we doing spoilers? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie was not, like, horrendously bad, so...
Yeah.
we'll do, like, a spoiler, non-spoiler
And it
section.
is, like, a mystery movie.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, you're gonna see every turn coming immediately.
It's so obvious.
It's like 3 minutes in, and you're just
Although-
like, yeah, I know how this is all gonna play out.
Although, there were some kids legitimately surprised by some of the twists going on. Granted, I think we were in an audience of mostly under 8-year-olds.
Probably.
Okay, so we walk into our movie theater. I want to tell this.
Okay.
Because first off, our ticket master looked like Martin Short. Random anecdote, but he had a Martin Short face, and I almost wanted, when we got up to the ticket booth, I almost wanted to be like, has anyone ever told you look like Martin Short? But I didn't.
Uh,
But I thought it was funny.
mm-hmm.
Because, yeah. Anyway, though, there was some...
You thought it was funny because it's related to Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
And Martin Short plays Watson on the show Sherlock, which got canceled because... whatever.
Did it get canceled?
Yeah, it got canceled because no one wanted to work on it anymore because the fans are stupid.
Oh.
Rabid fans were the reason that show stopped.
Who wanted, shoot, what's the ship name?
Watlock? I don't know.
Watlock sounds really bad.
But also Schertzen?
I don't know, it has a ship name.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
Watson Sherlock
Yeah.
stuff. But either way.
So that was funny. And then there was a whole group of boys ahead of us.
It was like
And-
obviously like a birthday party or something.
Yeah, and Sean and I at first, we're walking in, we're behind these boys, and we're like,
oh,
they're gonna go see Pacific Rim.
Because, I mean, they got a couple of parents there. They're obviously getting in. They're the right age to be super into wanting to watch giant robots fight giant monsters and stuff. I mean, who doesn't?
Right. I would rather be watching Pacific Rim too.
Yeah,
so.
me too. And I've seen like half a trailer, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I enjoyed
I liked
the
the
first one.
first movie, so,
Whatever.
But here we are watching Sherlock Gnomes.
No, but then like one of the kids is just like, oh, Sherlock Gnomes came out today. Guys, it came out today. And then he convinced the rest of the boys that they wanted to watch Sherlock Gnomes.
I had such a hard time not, like, just screaming.
Just like get down on your hands, or, like on your knees next to the kid and like put your hand on his shoulder like, son, you don't want to do this.
You're gonna lose all your friends.
Your friends are going to hate you if you make them watch this movie. Believe me.
just wrap my arm around the child and cover his mouth and be like, shh, shh, no kid, I'm saving you.
And then just look up at the parents that are there and say, don't let this kid choose.
Just take them to go see Pacific Rim, please.
Believe me, they're going to enjoy it so much more.
Oh, I did listen a little bit to see if I could hear them throughout the movie. And it sounds like a couple of times they chuckled. I don't know if they got much out of it, though.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. Yeah, so...
I feel really bad for that kid right now, because the rest of those boys are probably over at
the kid's house.
Jimmy's house, and they're like, Bobby, you picked a bad film. That was stupid.
There's like one or two of those kids that didn't really know either of the movies going in, and they'll never know.
Yeah.
They will never know what they missed.
They're just like, sure, I'm here for cake.
Hey, I don't gotta pay for the movie. It's okay. I'll watch whatever.
Yeah, there is always that one kid who's like, I'm just happy to be here. Anyway, can we bring ourselves to talk about the movie more? Okay. Do you want to give a non-spoiler summary?
Non-spoiler summary. It's Sherlock Holmes and Watson, except, they're garden gnomes. Mm-hmm. And Moriarty, who is Sherlock Holmes's
mortal enemy,
of course, is also in this movie. Except he's like a rubber.
I have no idea what he's supposed to be made out of.
I think he's supposed to be made out of like hard rubber.
But why does
plastic.
He shatter?
He broke. He doesn't shatter, he breaks, which makes me think he's made out of something solid enough, but he's also kind of rubbery and waxy and stuff. I don't know exactly what he's supposed to be made out of.
I was hanging on their every word. The real mystery of this movie is figuring out what the hell Moriarty is supposed to be made out of.
Yeah, because
I'm just waiting.
He's not ceramic, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like, please just tell me what he is made out of. I'm waiting for one character to drop a line that's like a pun of like what he's made out of or something. Nothing. And it's so unclear.
Either way, they're fighting at the beginning of the movie, and then
it looks like he breaks. He's
like he
dead.
breaks and dies. He's shattered. Ooh.
But this is the first 5 minutes of the movie, and
so you're like,
they've apparently hired somebody like a really big voice actor to.
I mean, I recognized his voice.
I recognized the voice.
I
don't remember who it was either. And the animators are going way over the top with his performance, so it's like, all right, well, there's no way he's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely not dead. And then we cut to the new people coming in, aka the Montagues and the Capulets, the Sherlock Gnome, or the Romeo and Juliet cast has moved to the city of London. Which
you forgot to mention how this movie starts.
Oh.
It starts with a storybook opening that never concludes.
Yeah, it never comes back.
Yeah, like they never close the book at the end to bookend the film.
Which is what you're supposed to do when you do this kind of thing. But no, it just starts...
A lot of movies just forget to do that. They remember that the old Disney fairy tales used to do that.
Start, but don't realize you need to stop it then.
Like, I think even Shrek remembers to close the fairy tale book at the end.
Does it?
I think so.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, it starts with like the 3 really tiny garden gnome guys.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're like, we should do this gnome pun movie, or this gnome pun movie, or this gnome pun movie. And the guy's like, no, we're doing Sherlock Gnomes.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, prepare yourself for Sherlock Gnomes. I'm like, oh, God, I am not prepared, but I'm here anyways.
I paid money, so here I am.
I have no choice in the matter.
There's always a choice, Sean. We made this choice.
It's true. But you know what? We're on a pilgrimage, and we're going to do...
all these movies.
We're going to do every animated movie, which means we don't get to skip out on the bad ones.
Yeah.
But like I was saying to you after we watched this movie...
Please, this was a great philosophical line, please. Now you have to remember how you said it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to say it the same way, but it's like... watching the bad movies just makes you appreciate the good movies that much more. I don't think that's what you're trying to refer to, but the thing I said that was super philosophical,
yeah.
I can't remember how I said it.
You said something along the lines of, it's a pilgrimage, so you can't choose what roads you walk on.
Or, yeah, which parts of the road you walk.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's nice. That's very nice. We ought to use that as a tagline for Animation Pilgrimage.
So yeah, that's why we watched this movie. And spoilers, garden gnomes are disappearing, and it's like...
That's not spoilers, that's like in the trailers.
Yeah. Oh no, the garden gnomes are disappearing, so Sherlock Gnomes is on the case, and then Romeo and Juliet get wrapped up in doing it as well, and...
So you know what other bad franchise this movie was reminding me of? Cars.
Why?
Because this movie decided to open up a whole can of worms that just, like, took the suspension of disbelief of the gnomes are walking around in their free time, and like they cut that wire, and they're like, all right, now we don't know what the hell we're doing anymore, and so now I'm just sitting here in the audience in the theater asking all these questions while the movie's going on. Like, why does Moriarty want to kill garden gnomes? Why does Sherlock save them?
We don't get their character motivations at all.
Why is there a society of like? Why?
Oh.
Who made Sherlock Gnomes? I mean, he doesn't come from any garden. Is he just like a rogue gnome? Watson is a rogue. Like, what is their purpose other than to save garden gnomes? And why? Why?
I don't know. Tennille,
Why?
Tennille, stop. It's okay.
Why? It doesn't make any sense.
You know, I want to say something that's been bothering me since we got out of this movie.
Yeah?
This movie, the trailers we saw were full of trailer fodder.
Uh-huh.
You know what didn't show up in this movie? Half of the trailer fodder.
Yeah, actually.
Like, there's points in the trailers that never show up in this movie. Like, I know in the trailers, one of the little guys, like, loses his entire hat. It, like, breaks off, and he's like, oh no!
Yeah.
And there's another point where the spandex gnome, like, jumps in a sinkhole and just, like, sinks into, like, up to his head. He's like, I'm okay. That never shows up in the movie. Neither of those moments show up in the movie.
And I feel like there's a lot more, way more obnoxious Sherlock jokes.
Probably.
That were in the trailer that never showed up.
Yeah. It's a trailer that had no substance on the actual movie.
Honestly, the trailers are worse than the movie.
Yeah. The movie isn't great, again, but the trailers make it look worse.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, most trailers often do. Which is awful.
Yeah, and I mean, and if you've seen the first Romeo and Juliet, like, it's not that wasn't a great film either. And that one was, like, mediocre to, I could sit down and enjoy this once and probably never watch it again and be happy. This one is okay. If you force me to sit down and watch this, I won't hate you, but
Yeah.
like it's just a little bit below.
Mm-hmm. It's not, like, offensive by any means.
No.
There's, like, Chinatown's a little weird, but it's not super offensive or anything.
Well, and offensive to, like, your brain cells.
Yeah, it's just like, this is dumb and boring. It's not like, wow, that was incredibly racist or anything.
Well, I mean, this movie's pretty squeaky clean.
Yeah, it's incredibly squeaky clean, which means, of course, every other line, one of the characters is saying something like, fertilizer.
Okay, that got old really quick.
Yeah, everyone curses by saying not curse things.
Yeah.
All the time, because that's just the easiest joke to do when you're writing a lazy movie script for kids. Just have them curse without cursing. All the time.
It almost feels...
I called it! I called that they were going to do this.
What?
Like, we were, like, thinking about what kind of movie this is going to be. It's like, it's going to be references that kids aren't going to get, which is every single Sherlock Holmes thing that happens in this movie.
And they shoot off a bunch of them there at the beginning.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, let's watch Spider Gnome home gnoming.
And it just keeps going. And but also having all the characters say inappropriate things. Like cursing all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just called it. I called everything this movie was going to do and just be bad slapstick humor. There was no poop jokes, though.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's incorrect. There's at least, like, one of the garden gnomes is on a toilet.
Okay, yeah.
And he makes references like, don't tip me. And stuff.
Okay, yeah, but it pissed me off because at one point, that was another weird question thing. Like, on the news, on human news, so not gnome news, not garden gnome news, human news, They're talking about the gnomes going missing.
Even though this is all happening in, like, an afternoon?
A very small town. Like, a bunch of garden gnomes go missing.
Yeah.
And then they say something like, oh, we need Sherlock Gnomes to save them.
It's like, how do people know about Sherlock Gnomes?
Like, and they don't say it like it's a joke. Like, oh, we're newscasters making a punny here.
Mm-hmm.
But although they do make a self-referential, like a self-aware, like, maybe it's just a slow news day. Like, that's why it's up on TV. Okay. But no, at one point, they show on TV, they show the gnome who is sitting on the toilet, and they're, like, introducing them.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even say... the joke is something like, these gnomes who aren't doing anybody any harm, and then they show a picture of the gnome on the toilet, and I'm like, you're not even clever enough to say gnomes who are just doing their own business, or like minding their own business or something like that. Like, come on, that's like an easy poop joke you could have put right there.
You're making the movie worse, Tennille, or more punny.
But it's like, they set up the joke but didn't say it.
It's true. It's very true.
So it just makes me mad.
I feel like I was going to say things, but...
Then I went on a tangent.
You went on a tangent.
You were talking about...
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Yeah, continue, and then I know what I was going to say, too.
I don't remember the first movie, like, at all. But something that struck me about this film is everyone is hyper-realistic.
Oh, yeah, the art direction in this film's not good.
No, it's like everything except the gnomes are hyper-realistic. And I guess they're like relatively realistic textured gnomes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I did not remember this being in a universe with non-cartoon humans. Like, these are realistic humans that are moving fairly realistically, and the dog that showed up was also pretty realistic.
You gotta remember, the first movie took place in 2 gardens.
Right. Was there, like, anything else of that movie?
No, like, the space... There was, like, I think there's an alleyway in between the 2 where they did the mower races.
Okay.
I don't remember much of that movie either. Oh, wait, no, there is a third set. The third set is like the separate garden that's overrun.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where Romeo and Juliet meet, and they, like, clean it up, and then I think they all live together there at the end or something.
I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
What I was gonna say is, earlier you were talking about them using, like, fake profanity.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or does it feel more vulgar when they do that?
I don't fucking know.
Like, if you're gonna say, oh, fertilizer, just say, oh, fuck. Like, really? Come on.
But you gotta let the kids watch it, Tennille.
But they mean the same thing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like, the tone of their voice, and a lot of times when these cartoon characters are saying it, they, like, hold on the F word, and then they'll be like, oh, fertilizer.
Shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, just say shit, just say fuck.
Do it. Kids have heard it before.
Well, okay, here's my point. Mm-hmm. Is they hold that out, and they make their tone really intense. Like, whereas,
fertilizer.
And I'm like, whoa, calm down there, Nomi. Whereas if he was like, oh, fuck, it'd be like, that's right, you're going through hard times, Nomeo, I understand. But they just...
The tone of getting really...
Right, because
upset and attached to the word.
Yeah, it's like they want you to think that they're going to say this word, and then they don't. And I'm just like, hey, babies, just say it.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's do trailers and then move into.
Let's not do trailers. There's nothing to talk about.
Was there?
There's Teen Titans Go.
Which is garbage.
Incredibles 2.
Which looks good.
I think there was another. Was there another trailer in there?
I feel like there was another trailer in there. I don't remember what it was. Whatever it is, we're probably gonna watch it because I think we actually got 3 for 3 on animated films.
Oh, it was Hotel Transylvania 3.
Oh, which looks
Whatever, it's another Hotel Transylvania movie. So the animation looks good, but
whatever. The rest of it's fine.
Who knows what the rest of it will be?
Yeah. All right, let's get...
So, spoilers.
Spoilers. If you don't want spoilers for this movie, I don't know, watch it if you want. Who cares?
Who cares?
It's not that big of a deal. So, the movie sets up that obviously Watson is the villain.
Oh, yeah. Like, Watson comes on screen, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna do that, are you? Because he every single time he is on screen,
he's getting the shit end of the stick and just kind of gives like a glowering look.
Yeah, he's always given like this side look at Sherlock, like, yeah, it's gonna be like that.
You're gonna do that to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, it is so obvious. I feel like the poor animator who worked on this thought they were doing a really subtle performance. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh, honey, you're doing Sherlock. No.
It's like the beginning's playing out, and like Watson is obviously the one doing all the work, and as soon as like Sherlock like throws the cane back at him, except obviously misses on purpose, like an asshole.
Yeah.
Just an absolute asshole.
Gotta say, Johnny Depp was a real fit for this part.
Yeah, honestly.
Because everybody hates him.
Everybody in this movie hates Sherlock Gnomes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I honestly thought they were gonna kill him at the end, and I was gonna be like, bravo, movie.
I mean, like, that's the only way to, like, make up for all the shit that he just abuses everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not even, like, a likable asshole like oftentimes a Sherlock Holmes character is portrayed, because he's like, oh, I'm smarter than you, but I'm actually also really charming. No, he's just obnoxiously...
He's just an asshole.
He's just an asshole. Just an asshole. The whole time. It doesn't even get better at the end when he is shoved in his face that he's being an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, because right at the beginning when they have the, like, storybook opening or whatever, they show the famous illustration of Sherlock, and I think it's Moriarty.
Yeah, Sherlock and Moriarty...
falling off the cliff, and that's when Sherlock dies at the end of the books. And then on the other page it says, like, Sherlock Gnomes or Sherlock Holmes or whatever.
Yep.
And so I thought that was going to be, like, a little foreshadowing, like, oh, Sherlock's gonna die. But no, it was just a reference.
I mean, they still did it.
Yeah, they still did it, but they chickened out at the end. But then
Watson saves him at the end.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Moriarty doesn't die. Spoilers, Moriarty was manipulating Watson the whole time. Spoilers...
Yeah, okay. So the plot goes, Watson's the one who kidnapped all the gnomes, and he did this just to...
like, shove it in Sherlock's face that he needs Watson, and it's not just Sherlock. And hey, bro, I love you, man.
Just kiss me already.
Respect me, please. Don't just abuse me.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. He's like, I wasn't planning on hurting anybody. It's just, I want your...
Respect.
I need you to realize that we're a team, bro.
We're partners.
We're partners. They say
that
over and over again, because I don't think they were allowed to say, like, I love you or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's heavily implied.
They constantly say the line, we're partners just like friends.
Uh-huh.
Like, but they balance it out on the other side with, like, Nomeo and Juliet are going through similar problems where Juliet's not listening to Nomeo, and so Nomeo is trying to do things to prove himself to Juliet. So they're going through the same lover spat that Sherlock and Watson are.
Yeah.
But for Sherlock and Watson, they're always like,
We're partners.
We're best friends. And I'm like, sure you are.
My Uncle Tom had a special friend. They were very, very friendly men.
Right away when we started watching this movie and I saw what their, like, relationship dynamic was, I was like, you guys could have made a buttload of money if you would have just made them gay.
Uh-huh.
Sherlock fandom would have been all over this. They'd been like, this is what I wanted the whole time.
It's true.
You guys, it was so easy.
But then someone on the higher ups is like, no, we can't do that. We'll lose out on all the children audiences.
Yeah. Our movie will get boycotted. But see, it would have been worth the risk. I'm just telling you.
I think more people would have watched it if your movie was explicitly gay.
Mm-hmm. You would have had a bunch of teenagers, a bunch of young adults come into this movie.
And then you could have said fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and you wouldn't have had to say, oh, fertilizer.
We're solving the movie. Just make them explicitly gay and actually curse. I mean, there's other things you could have done to make it better. Moriarty is evil just to be evil. Mm-hmm.
They go way overboard on his animation.
Yeah, he's just
also, his voice doesn't fit his character design.
I don't like his teeth.
His teeth would change shape. They had a morpher for his teeth, or just a different model for him altogether. But I mean, it's impressive because it's a 3D model.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like,
just wibbly wobbly all over the place. Never stops moving.
Calm down. You either A, needed a more eccentric voice actor, or B, you need to tell the animator to chill out a little bit.
Yeah. He just moved too much. I mean, the voice actor definitely tries to keep up, but he doesn't do a good enough job.
No, the voice is outpacing him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
yeah.
this whole mystery plot. We said Sherlock's trying to gain, or Watson's trying to gain Sherlock's respect, so he sets up this master plan, and you go through like the first hour and a half, or hour of the movie, going, okay, yeah, Watson's the bad guy, we get it. And then
it's like, oh
Watson
no,
reveals his plans, and there's two gargoyles working with him.
Mm-hmm. But it turns out, no, the gargoyles were working for Moriarty the whole time.
Yeah, because Watson's like, no, I would never actually hurt the gnomes. They've been here the whole time. I just wanted to rub it in your face a little bit, Sherlock. And Sherlock's like, oh, okay, I've been an ass. And then wow, now a whole bunch of this movie is flowing back to me. There's so much more still to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Bridge. The giant M. Can you do it?
It's all coming back.
All the gnomes are stuck in place.
The subplot with the frog and the gnome.
Oh, you mean the subplot that's so fucking obvious and it's so dumb?
Yeah.
There's like a blue gnome that's in love with the frog. I don't remember if they were on opposing sides. I can only assume they were.
I think so. I think the frog was a friend of Juliet. Was like the best friend of Juliet, and then the blue guy Benny was best friends with Nomeo.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Either way, he watches internet porn.
Yeah.
That's how he learns how to kiss.
Yep. They make that joke at the end.
Mm-hmm. It's like, how'd you learn to kiss like that? The internet.
Cool.
There's your silence. It's like in a kid's film. It's
cool.
Like, there's more dirty humor for you.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I honestly, the like weird bridge thing, like coming down and slowly crushing them to death, that was actually kind of interesting.
I mean, yeah, if it weren't for the fact that, like, they solve it in a completely
Weird way. That was never set up.
Like, I don't believe this at all. Like, things just work for our heroes, and, like, there's weird transition. Like, so many of these action scenes, there's, like, this weird transition where someone's like, whoa, I got it, and you're like, what just happened? And then all of a sudden the problem's fixed, and you're like, okay, moving on.
Because, like, they set up these weird things, but they don't actually have real solutions, so the characters are like, bubblegum!
Yeah.
And then they win.
Yep.
They just win. There's, like, no stakes at all for any of the main characters.
Sherlock does, like we said earlier, like, sacrifice himself.
And Watson immediately saves him.
Yeah, so, like, they're falling, and it looks like Moriarty and Sherlock are gonna die. But then neither die.
Neither die, because
They don't even have the
Moriarty's
balls
made
to
of
kill off-
plastic.
Yeah, they don't even have the balls to kill off Moriarty.
He's made of plastic, so he floats. Also, these are really dumb rules for, like, the when you're solid or not, because I think they automatically turn to stone if a human's looking at them.
I think so.
Which means that the gargoyles just fell to their death.
Yeah,
Except
because
they're
someone
not
looked
dead,
at them.
because they're just under the water. They can obviously just walk out. Do they drown? They're made of stone. It's dumb.
I don't know. There's also a part of the movie where it turns into the nut job too. We mentioned this once. There's a Chinatown scene.
Which was in the nut job too.
Yeah, and then there's another part where they're in the park dressed in a squirrel costume
And
they
getting
have to
chased
take
by a pug.
Yeah, and they have to take a squeaky toy from a pug, which they call a hound dog. And I'm just like, please.
That was supposed to be another Sherlock Holmes reference.
I know, but
It's so
like
dumb.
well, and that's
Like the Hounds of Baskerville or something?
Yeah. But they call this all reminded me so much of Nut Job, and yet at the same time I'm like, I'm actually kind of wishing I was watching Nut Job right now, because the designs for the realistic
Animals are ugly
animals
as fuck.
are awful. I'm like, oh no. It's like, why not just stylize the movie just a little bit? Just a little bit.
Just a
If
little
you
bit of
cannot-
stylization.
If you cannot do realism, then don't. Then don't.
Because you're falling right into that uncanny valley.
If you cannot do realism, then don't.
Don't do it.
You know what else we haven't mentioned at all?
The random black Barbie who is obviously being, like, some actual actress or singer chick who is paid to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And she was fine, but
She
it was
plays-
a random musical number out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's a doll they have to go to who is made to look like a showgirl, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's a store, I guess, that sells antique dolls, and she's there, and she sings
It's
song.
a doll museum.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is all, like, a reference to another Sherlock Holmes thing that I'm less familiar with.
Probably.
Like, she's probably playing a character out of Sherlock Holmes. But either way...
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I think Sherlock's had, like, exes
Okay.
in a lot of different iterations.
But either way, she just sings this song that's just dissing on Sherlock for, like, 2 minutes. Or, no, it was only like a minute. It was actually
it was a pretty short song. And
thankfully
actually,
succinct.
yeah, very short song. And I was like, actually, you know what? This is probably the best part of the movie right here.
Yeah.
Too bad it is
Completely pointless.
completely pointless.
Not a part of this is needed.
No, it's just more fuel to the Sherlock hate.
Uh-huh.
Which, I mean, like, good on you, girl, but
Like, every time someone disses on Sherlock, another character just turns to them like, yes, I know, it's awful. You're like, he's awful.
He's awful, isn't he?
Every single time.
Yeah.
More often than not, it's someone saying something bad about Sherlock Gnomes, and Juliet just turns to them and is just like, I know! He's terrible!
Yeah. Oh, you know when this movie started? You know what I was immediately like, man, you know what I really wish I was watching right now? Basil of Baker Street. Or, sorry, The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
I'm like, because Moriarty's like the first thing that shows up. And I'm just like, oh man, I could be watching Ratigan.
Oh, Ratigan! Oh, Ratigan!
I'm like, why aren't I watching that?
Wow, that peaked really badly.
It's fine. We put in the levelator and it all balances out.
Okay.
Just, you need to stop worrying about it.
No.
So, I think we've talked about this movie long
I
enough.
can't believe we've talked about this movie for 40 minutes.
I thought this was going to be a short review. I thought it was going to be like, it was mediocre. The end. Goodbye.
I don't know. It's one of those mediocre films that you could just sit there and talk about for a really long time because it's inoffensive enough, but raises enough questions and like, it was strange.
The real challenge is remembering what happened.
Uh-huh.
And then it like you remember
one thing and it just all washes
yeah, and then it's like oh my gosh, that's what I just watched.
Okay, yeah, so I think that's gonna be it for this movie.
Please don't make another one of these.
Yeah, please don't. I will say we are still planning on watching Isle of Dogs.
Yeah.
It probably will be another week or two until we can get access to it, but we are going to watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
By hell or high water and driving 3+ hours away, we will watch this movie.
We will, because I've been looking forward to it. But anyway,
that's got to be it.
Sherlock Gnomes.
All right, so we'll probably get this sometime Saturday. So have a good Saturday. Maybe watch it. Probably not. Go watch something else.
Yep. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.